as Senator Booker just said, digital assets are our future. And for us to lead on this entity, we got to encourage innovation. And if we don't, we're not going to make it. The legislation has got to be there, and I think we all agree with that. So I've just got a few questions here about this. You know, we all know there's good actors and there are bad actors. If we don't get legislation, the bad actors are going to take over, and we've seen some of that. So, Mr. Chairman, thanks for being here today. A lot of my constituents use event contracts to hedge risk. Can you assure us that the CFTC's event contract rule will encourage innovation and not attempt to prohibit or limit event contracts?
Senator, thanks for the question. In short, yes, I will ensure that we support innovation in any rule that we finalized in the future.
Thank you. Two of your Democrat colleagues on the commission are being considered by the Senate for new roles. Should they recuse themselves from ongoing CFTC rulemaking as they go through this confirmation process?
Senator, thanks for the question. It's an important question, and certainly one that we have looked at very carefully since they've been considered for these new positions, respectively, at the FDIC and Treasury. And based on the legal analysis that we've done and the fact, ultimately, that they're going to other government agencies, they do not have to recuse themselves. But we are happy to—
Don't you think this is a conflict of interest?
Well, ultimately, recusal should be done in a situation where there is, in fact, a conflict. So it's most typically done if a public official is going to the private sector and you don't want that individual, while they're in their public office, to make decisions that would benefit a future employer. In this case, since both are going to another public agency, another government agency, we have not been able to identify any quote-unquote conflict of interest that would require recusal. But we're happy to look at the issue again and speak with your office, hear your concerns, and have a conversation about it.
Thank you. You know, I've got a bipartisan bill with Senator Gillibrand to prohibit Chinese entities from acquiring U.S. digital asset, broker, dealer, custodian, or exchange. Do you think that's the sort of legislation we need?
Senator, you know, it's often dismissed or forgotten that financial markets and the institutions that comprise financial markets, whether it's a broker, an exchange, a clearinghouse, are critical infrastructure. They're not necessarily critical infrastructure in the sense that we would think in terms of national security, but they really are. If we were attacked by an adversary and one of our core critical financial infrastructures was attacked through cyber and held up or stopped trading, this would have a huge impact on agriculture, on energy, and any number of things that impact our economy directly. So I appreciate the bill that you filed and understand what you're looking to accomplish, and I do think it's very important given the nature of financial markets and what our adversaries are willing to do, and making sure that we're preserving national interest and national security through financial infrastructure.
Thank you. You know, I want your thoughts on how mined crypto assets should be taxed. Take Bitcoin, for instance. The IRS are all over people that are mining Bitcoin. If you grow corn, you don't pay tax on it until you sell it. But Bitcoin, if you mine it, even before you sell it, you have to pay taxes on it. Do you think that's fair?
Senator,
have you thought about this?
I have not thought about it until now. Principally speaking, and based on the way you articulate the analogy, you know, it doesn't sound fair, or there's not a clear sort of analogous policy around it. But, you know, thinking through some of the issues around mining and the efforts that are required through, you know, energy and otherwise to mine tokens, you know, perhaps there's a policy reason that the IRS is looking at through their lens, but I'm happy to look at it more deeply and have a conversation with you. But I otherwise don't focus too much on the tax code.
Well, please do. You know, if you buy stock, you don't pay tax on it until you sell it.
Correct.
You know, if you buy gold, you don't pay tax on it until you sell it. But if you mine Bitcoin or any kind of crypto, you know, the IRS wants their money now, whether you're going to make or lose money at the end of the day. And I think if we're going to encourage people to get involved in crypto, we need to address this issue pretty quickly, because a lot of people are being really harassed by the IRS, and they shouldn't be. It should be like any other entity of where they have the opportunity to invest, and when they make profit, they pay tax on it at that time. So I'd appreciate your thoughts on it, you know, when you can sit down and really think about it and talk to your people.
I'd be happy to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yep.